Yeah, I think, the biggest thing for these guys is they're coming in, they're getting familiar with the organization, familiar with the staff that's going to be working with them, familiar with the city of Buffalo, and it's all about building relationships and, with their future teammates, with the development staff, with the Rochester coaches. So, we're also exposing them to a lot of our performance staff, our nutrition, our mental skills, getting them around the locker room, getting immersed in sort of like an NHL environment. So we throw a lot at them, but, it's a good week overall for them.
What are your first impressions of Konsta, just seeing him up close on the ice?
Yeah. Well, I think he's very smooth. I think you saw that in the last drill, just his ability to evade pressure. He's got really good hands. He's got vision. He can make plays. And talking to our scouts, they think he's like a natural center, and I think that's an important thing, for a player like that. So he's got those qualities, and, so that's my first impression.
And we end up looking at a bunch of junior Sabres guys here.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Whether they're draft picks or guys you just bring in. I mean, 10 years later after the Academy of Hockey, what's it like to see a bunch of junior Sabres at a real Sabres development camp?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, I think it just speaks to the vision of the Pukula family and the work that's gone into, raising hockey in Buffalo at the grassroots level. When you have a lot of us that worked with those players, Matt Ellis on the Sabres staff has, Tim Kennedy, myself, even Kevin, so it's exciting.
What do you think about the role Patrick Collette is serving right now?
I think it's great. He's doing a really good job. He's, running that program, and he's got really good ties to the area, and, he's a likable person, was always a fan favorite, so it's a perfect spot for him.
What did Max illustrate to you in his first season at Michigan State?
Just his ability to grow. He came here to Michigan State, which the program turned over, and got to give credit to their coaching staff. He got thrust into big minutes, throughout the season, and he showed that he can play a reliable role on a really good NCAA hockey team. He's a physical player. He competes hard. He defends well, but he's got a really understated puck game, and he's able to move the puck up the ice efficiently. So, a big body, right-hand shot D that can do that. It was impressive this year what he did.
I know Matt's voice not here because of the Memorial Cup.
Yeah.
What did you think of the way that he navigated this season? He traveled all over, played for, I think, 5 different teams.
Yeah.
Way to get better.
Yeah, Matt's an incredible person, first of all. Everything that happens to him, he has a positive view on it. He's a hard worker, a competitive hockey player, and even the way it started for him last year, it was unfortunate getting injured at the first rookie tournament, but he was able to spend time in Buffalo. He was able to spend a little time in Rochester, played for his country at the World Junior Tournament. He went all the way through, won the Western Hockey League, and then went to the Memorial Cup. So he was exposed to a lot of hockey, but a lot of high-level pressure situations. And, he showed that he can thrive in those areas, and, it's good for a hockey player.
One year where you have a guy, he gets injured, he gets traded, he goes to the World Juniors, he goes to the Memorial Cup. A lot of guys aren't going to be able to handle all that at that age. I mean, what does that say about Savoy, just mentally, that he's able to handle all these different things that are thrown at him in literally one hockey season? If you had written that down in September, you never would have got to June with all those twists and turns.
No, and I think, that's kind of the point I made at first, was just the positive outlook that he has, and, his ability to battle through and look at things in a real positive light. Like I said, he's competitive. He's a hardworking kid. He thrives on adversity. So it just speaks great volumes for the person that he is.
How much when you're dealing with these players throughout their seasons, will you see them face to face, or do you want? I know you want to talk to them and you want to help them, but or do you want to maybe back off them a little bit?
No, we do, and that's something that our organization takes great pride in, is going out, visiting these players, getting to know them, getting to know their game, getting to know their coaches, spending time with them away from the rink, getting to know their families. It's about building relationships and, getting comfortable with them and them getting comfortable with us. So.
Could you walk us through how your staff works with somebody like Prokhor Poltavov, who's in Russia?
Yep.
There's some limitations there. And what do you think, just based on what you've seen, what you've heard, about his progress, a couple of years into his time with the organization.
Yeah, so we have a Russian scout that liaises with our development staff, who connects with Procar just like our staff over here in North America does with our players. We're in constant communication with Procar, either via Zoom, via text message. I send him clips of his game. We connect by WhatsApp or by text message. And then having Ruslan there in Russia makes a big difference. You have someone that's connecting with the player in real time. So we, there are challenges for sure, but his game's progressing. He is gaining weight. He's looking strong on the ice. He had a really good run 2 years ago into the playoffs, so a lot of promise there for him.
Do you see him as a power forward type, the type of player he is, or what do you project?
The way that I view him is he can play with skilled players, but he can play up and down your lineup. He's strong. He protects the puck extremely well down low. He takes pucks to the net. He's a bull. He's first on the forecheck. So he's what I would say would be like a gritty player that has a skill and sense to complement skilled players. So, nice player.
What do you like to see you have a lot more hands-on with these guys throughout the season, but what do you want to see from them this week when we're working with them on the ice? Is it about fine-tuning, or is it just, you're trying to measure where they're at?
No, they come in, we're able to, get a gauge on players that we haven't had here in terms of our performance staff, seeing where their bodies are at, seeing the growth that they've had off the ice in the weight room, their body fat, their physical scores, stuff like that, so that's important. But really I don't view it as an evaluation camp on the ice. A lot of these players haven't even skated. And, it's something I don't know if everyone knows, but, so they're coming over here, and really it's just about getting to know their teammates, like I said, getting to know us, getting more familiar with the organization, and having a good time, having a good time and feeling what it's like to be an NHL hockey player, because we believe that they all can be.
What stood out about Brody? I know just a couple quick sessions, but just what have you noticed about him?
About who, sorry?
Brody Zemer.
Oh, what a competitive player. What a shot. Detail in his game. Quick. So it just, very likable from my first impression, and I know the scouts really excited when they got to call his name, so, yeah.
When you have a guy like that who's captain, how much do you instantly hone in just to see how he interacts with people and how he plays?
Well, meeting him at the draft, just the character, you can tell he looks you in the eye. For a young player, it was impressive. He's on the ice, like I said, the detail, you can tell he's been through a good program, where he's getting high level teaching and coaching, and all that kind of bleeds through in what you see on the ice and off the ice as well.
Adam, I know you're focused on development camp, but the Sabres acquired 3 players recently in a role that you're very familiar with. How do you think Sam Lafferty, Nicholas Cabell, and Agnosino fit under Europe?
Well, I don't want to speak so much on those players. It's not my area, but I know that Kevin and our pro scouts were very excited about who they were able to acquire. So I'll just leave it there.
What was it like when you got the news that he was coming back?
I was excited. Texted him right away. Just said, let's get her going again like old times. So.
When you think of the current players now, they don't know what's ahead. You do. Do you kind of smirk and say, "Oh, the training camp will be interesting for them"?
I gotta imagine it's going to be a little more challenging for the players. Yeah.
Is he still the same old buddy?
He's great. He interacts well. He's at the meals. He's watching the practices. He is the same person for sure. I'm sure he's evolved and changed as a coach, but he seems the same to me.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thanks.